Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about research logs. Very important part of this class. In fact, it might be one of the most important parts next to the literature itself. So let's talk about it. Now, remember, the whole purpose for me to teach this class, it's not about vampires so much. It's not about my love for vampires, because I don't really have a love for vampires. They interest me, sure. I find them interesting. I like to read about them. I love to see movies about them. Mostly it's about writing a really great paper, a good research paper, but about making you feel more confident about writing that research paper and having less anxiety about writing that paper. So let's talk about this. Now, your ideas are important and they're special. They really are. They're important because they come from you and your experiences and your beliefs and your knowledge base and just how you feel about the topic at hand. But your ideas are just not enough, not anymore. Now we need you to fuse your ideas with research that you garner and gather, whether it's online or from books or other sources. So it's time to take that information from somebody else and fuse it with your ideas into a coherent essay. So let's talk about this. What you're going to do for me, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Allow me to put it up on the screen. Every week, you're going to do a research log for me. It's going to be due on Fridays. You're taking a look at it right now. Okay. The first research log topic is vampire characteristics. So let's take a look at this sheet right here that you have to fill out. Now, very briefly, I want to just scan through this. Topic 1, vampire characteristics, source 1. Right? And if you look down at the next page, same thing. Topic 1 is still vampire characteristics, but now it's source 2. So what you want to do for this is come up with 2 different sources, find 2 different sources on the internet, type into Google, it's very simple, vampire characteristics. Scan through the different sources that you find, the different websites that you find one that appears good to you, that has a lot of information, that feels right. We'll talk about that throughout the semester as far as finding sources that are better than others, but right off the bat, you're going to be able to tell looking at something how well it's done, right? So when you find a source that you like, the first thing you do is make sure it has lots of information, scan through it, and when you see that it's got lots of information that you can use, you will write that source down here under source number 1, whether it's www.vampires.com, whatever that is. Now, your job from that source, you have to come up with 3 ideas or facts about vampire characteristics. Right? Your first idea or fact you put in here. The second idea or fact you put down there, number 2, and number 3 you put number 3. And what you need to do is put 1 quote from this source dealing with any of those 3 facts. Now, if you want, you can put more than 1 quote. You can put a quote per each idea or fact. Some students like to do that, but all I'm requiring for this assignment is that you put the quote, just 1 quote per source here under quote from source 1. Now, please make sure you're copying it correctly, because the grand scheme is you're going to use this for your essay in a couple of months. So have that quote perfectly written out and sourced. Now, the next thing I want to talk about when we're talking about ideas and facts is you don't just type in 1 or 2 words. And I'll show you what I mean when I say that. You're going to find out a characteristic about vampires is they're extremely pale. You don't just write pale and leave it at that. That's not enough information. I want full sentences. Vampires are normally very pale. Now, that's a full sentence, but it's still not enough. Why are vampires very pale? For a few reasons. And then list those reasons out. One is they never go out during the day. In fact, they only come out at night. Why? They burn in the sun. They catch on fire. Caught. Oop, I hit my cap lock. Hold on. If caught in the sunlight. Okay, good. Now that is an idea or a fact. It explains what it is and it explains why. Now, if you want, like I said, you can find a quote directly from your source and put it in here if you want, or you can just do with ideas and facts and put another idea and facts. Vampires can control animals. Certain animals, that's another trait. Now, that's not enough information. They include, and then you list the animals. I believe it's wolves, dogs, cats, rats, and then there's more. So you would figure that out yourself. You would type in that information. Again, the more information you give, the better you are here. And then, of course, idea fact number 3, you would put in another one. I'm not going to do that for you. And then I would put a quote from source number 1. Okay, now, the second page of my vampire characteristics requires you to find another source with separate ideas or facts. So every week, you're going to come up with 6 ideas or facts regarding that week's topic. I know next week's topic, I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the list in front of me, but you're going to be doing how to kill a vampire, how to become a vampire, types of vampires, cultural origins of vampires, sexuality with vampires. So every week, you'll come up with 6 ideas or facts and at least 2 quotes. Because if you'll see on the second one, you put source 2, www.vampiresrus.com. I don't know, I'm making that up, of course. There's my 3 facts, and there's my quote from source 2. So every week, you will come with 2 different sources. You will fill that source in, what website you are in, you are getting this information from. You will give me 3 facts or ideas from that website, and you will give me at least 1 quote from that website as well. Couple of things to talk about. 1, I've already said it, make sure you're giving full sentences. Even a paragraph is good with as much details as possible. The more details you give now, the better it is for you later, of course. And 2, a great idea would be to not just stop at the 6 ideas or facts. If in your research you notice that there are 15 or 20 characteristics, then you can type out more. Maybe off to the side or on the bottom, you can type out more under quotes. I have some students that put more facts about characteristics of vampires. Maybe put a colon and then just start listing them. Maybe a bullet note, boom. So I don't know. I'm not going to list them here because you have to do your own research, but there's at least a dozen vampire characteristics. Why stop at 6? The more you give, the better it would be for your research. Okay, that's how we do a research log. I'm going to have these due every Friday. You're given the research logs, all of them in the beginning of the semester, so you can, if you'd like, do them all in the first week or 2 and have them done. Each assignment is going to be 100 points, and it's going to be a big part of your grade. Figure we're going to do 13 of these. That's 1,300 points of your grade. Your grade is only about 3,000 or 4,000 points per marking period. So if 1,200 points of it is just these research logs, 25% of your grade is these research logs. So you want to take them very seriously. Very nice job, everybody. If you have any more questions about this, ask me. I'm always available. Thank you.